Okay, happy Friday. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives in the Villages here. We're going to be talking about something a little bit different. You know, we get one of the questions we get a lot of when people are moving into the Villages is they're asking about what about the sixes, right? 466, which is this northern road right here. We're located right here on 466 and Buena Vista, actually right here. That's Buena Vista right here. It goes north and south, and then Morse does this up here. We're actually located right around here, close to Buena Vista on 466. And a lot of people are interested in properties between 466 and 466A, which is the southern end of this map here. So if you take a look at this, you know, Sumter Landing is part of this, right? There are a lot of properties that are in between the sixes. So if that's you, like if you want to be in certain areas like Tall Trees, or you want to be in Mallory, you want to be in Bridgeport, right, which is right around Lake Meona, Liberty Park, Sunset Point, you know, Bailey Trail area, that type of thing, Mallory Hill, and you know, there's Stillwater Trail is a little bit further. It would be a little bit further east, and that would be like Caroline, you know, places like that. That's going to be in this area. That's what we're talking about today, places in between the sixes. So let's get to it. Let's take a look at what is available between the sixes, right? And this gives you an idea here, right? So let's go back and let's take a look at stats. We've got 84 properties that are available, and there are a couple of things I want to look at and just look at the trends, because this really is, even though it's not the newest area, these are properties that were built between 2005 and 2011, mostly, some exception, but mostly that's what we're talking about here, 2005 to 2011. You know, they're not new properties, obviously. In fact, some of them are approaching 20 years old as you start looking at, you know, Tall Trees and, you know, some of the northern sections of this area, which would be close to 466. But it's still very desirable because it is close to Sumter Landing, which is still the most popular of the squares in the Villages. So we're going to I'm doing this, if you ever wonder if I'm doing this live, I'm doing this live. And then I'm recording, and then you're probably going to watch it as a recording. But, you know, I want to give us an idea of what's happened in this specific area between the sixes over the last 5 years. And we're going to look at the average sales price of these properties. You know, starting with 2019, you know, the average sales price, as you're seeing here, you know, pretty much somewhere between 344 and it rose up to 404,000. And then over the years, it went down a little bit in 2020, and 2021 up, and 2022 a little bit further up, 23 a little bit less. And if you look at January of 2024, slightly less average sales price than what it was January 2023. So that gives you an idea about in between the sixes. Now let's look at median price. Okay, so median price. So sales price median, right? And obviously there's a difference between average and median. Then you're looking at the median price being higher in this case than January of 2023. It shows you really, really well. Okay, so going from about, you know, let's take about 300 in 2019 to 396. You know, you're talking about $100,000, or basically about a 35% increase over a 5-year period, which is an average of about 7%. Tells you that, you know, we saw a big spike up, obviously, in the 2021 area. Then we've seen a settling down in pricing over the last 12 to 15 months. Not a collapse, but there has been an adjustment, especially in homes that are very common. Where, you know, maybe it's a you know, courtyard villa or a patio villa. Those prices have come down a bit. Okay. But, you know, you're seeing an average price and median price right around that $400,000 mark for in between the sixes, south of 466, north of 466A. So let's look a little bit deeper at this. Let's look at the actual properties for sale. Okay. And if you have questions, by the way, put that in the chat. Be happy to talk to you. Call us as well for any questions about real estate or property management, rentals, that type of thing. We do get a frequent amount of people that do want to, they buy and then they rent out their home during this time period. And even in these areas like 466 and 466A. Okay. So as we're looking at this, let's look at the stats. Actually, let me go back. This is the map portion of it, just show you where everything is located. And now let's hit the results and take a look at actual homes for sale. And the lowest priced home is $274,900, which is it's a patio villa. Okay. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This bond is paid. So that's an advantage of being in this area. Like a lot of times these bonds are paid because we're getting close to that period where they've been around for long enough. Liberty Park is actually this particular area, built in 2005. Okay. So you're seeing there's 3, 6, 7 properties under 300,000, and you're looking at about probably about another 10 to 15 properties that are going to be in between 300 to 400, and then it goes 400 plus. And most of these homes that are in that 400 and below mark are going to be courtyard villas. I'm seeing some Amarillo bougainvilleas, patio villas. This one here on Chapman Loop, 403,000 is Whispering Pine, right? And if you do want a copy of, the floor plans, that's easily accessible. If you have questions about any of this, just let me know. But, this gives you an idea of what things are going for between the sixes. And let's look, you've got a couple that are, 3, 6, 7 properties that are over $1 million. The highest one that's right now is 1.9. And this one's on the lake, right? This one's on the lake in Bridgeport. That's probably Lake Meona. This is Bridgeport at Meona Shores. Very beautiful home for 1.999. Let's see who has that. Who has that listed? Okay, Remax has that one listed. So it gives you an idea of that. That's pretty home. Let's take a look so let's move on from this and let's look at what's happening in the 7-day numbers. Give you an overall marketplace, what's happening in the market. 7-day numbers, 58 new listings right now, and 35 closed the last 7 days, and then 52 pendings. So, we're still seeing a slight increase in inventory. That is something that we are seeing right now. It's still there, but one thing that we are starting to see is we're seeing more and more pendings. So that number of 50 plus pendings shows you that the people that have been staying here are now moving forward and actually committing to buying a home, meaning they'll probably close between now, this is the third week of February, all the way into the end of March. So that's going to be very interesting. So if you have questions, let me know. Please please share. And also, if you haven't done it, please subscribe. That'd be great. All right. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives. Hope everybody has just an absolutely fabulous weekend. Take care.